Remote ID? Ha! G'day, welcome back. What the hell? What's all this? I'm not having this. No, we're not having that. Hang on. Right. Overregulation. Not having it. There's been too much overbearing regulation. Again, on this hobby. The hobby has been decimated by the regulators. We've got stuff like this. Look at this. This is me flying around my own house. Totally illegal, beyond visual line of sight. Oh my God, without a spotter, FPV. Oh my God, where did I bury the bodies? Well, the body count 0, injury count 0, property damage 0. Not at all dangerous, but illegal because regulators don't understand. And the problem is we've got media pumping this narrative that drones are dangerous. People who fly drones are bad actors. And RC model aircraft, well, they're just drones in disguise. And this has to change in 2024 or the hobby is lost. Now, I've spent quite a bit of time in recent years working hard to promote, preserve, protect the hobby, but I need your help this year. This year, we're all gonna have to get involved because one lone voice doesn't carry any weight. If I see a story in the media like this thing from the Daily Mail today, which basically painted everyone as a bad actor, everyone who flies a drone is a bad actor, all drones are used for spying, all drones are used for dropping stuff into prisons by criminals. If we don't push back on this, and now if I send a message or an email to the Daily Mail, they ignore it. Why not just one old cranky old guy in New Zealand? But if 10,000 of us send an email every time the media trots out this rubbish, then we get somewhere. Then we start seeing some change. Then the media has to be held accountable, and we will hold them accountable. If we don't, all is lost. I tell you, all is lost. So come with me on this journey in 2024 as we protect the hobby. We save the hobby from what could be utter decimation in the face of a lot of large corporates that want our 0 to 400 foot airspace for their money-making schemes. Delivery drones. So let me have a look. How many can I see? None. Pilotless electric eVTOL air taxis. How many can I see? None, because these things just do not exist in any commercial scale at the moment, and they will not exist and they will not be commercially viable for another 10 years. Why is that? Because batteries don't deliver the necessary energy. You know, a delivery drone can only make one trip and it has to be recharged. Batteries, as we know, when you use them in high drain applications like drones and other things, they don't last that long. The commercial viability of drone delivery is just 0. And even worse for these pilotless air taxis. There's no way you can make money out of it. And the companies talking about this, they're not going to do it as a charity. So they're not going to actually be doing these things until a new generation of batteries come along and they can actually spin some change out of it. And that's going to be at least 10 years away. It's a long way from having something in a lab that seems to work and getting it to the point where you've got factories churning them out in large enough volumes to meet the demand of the market. 10 years. So why pass rules, regulations now which clear the skies of us when there's no one coming up there to take our place? Give us a few years, and during those few years, we'll continue to prove just how safe and responsible we are as a community. We need to get that message across to everybody, especially the public, and that's what I plan to do with your help. So if you're not a subscriber to this channel, go and subscribe now, because you'll need to stay in touch through the videos I produce. And when the calls to action come, I'd like you to get in behind them and go out there, because if we don't do this, then future generations won't have the same kind of access to the hobby that we have. Already in countries around the world, children are barred from the hobby. If they don't have an adult who can supervise them and sign things on their behalf, they cannot own, they cannot fly a model airplane or a drone. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. When I think of the many, many hours I spent as a child from the age of 5, 6, 7, building my model airplanes, flying them all on my own because my parents were too busy and I didn't know anyone else older than me that was interested, so I did it all myself. No internet, had to get magazines and kit sets, and that's what we did. And that's lost to the current generation of children out there. They don't have a sponsor, they don't have a patron to do all that bookwork and paperwork and fill out all the forms. They just can't participate legally. And so they don't have a future in the hobby. And by the time they get old enough to do it legally, they've discovered girls or boys and cars and other things that attract their time and give them a great deal of pleasure. So the chances that they will get involved in the hobby become very low. And we're going to see, I'd say in probably 5 to 8 years' time, maybe 10 years' time, the industries that now are seeking to take the skies for themselves we'll find they have no new talent, no new engineers, no new designers, no new pilots, no new technicians, because all the people that would have started in the hobby and moved on and taken aerospace and aviation as a career, they'll be doing something else. And so there'll be a dearth of talent. There'll be no one to call on to fill those roles. And then they'll be complaining, saying, why didn't somebody do something? Well, we're going to do something in 2024. Join me for the ride. So thanks to all my Patreons, the people who support me through Patreon, the people who are members of this channel, you enable me to spend the time to make videos like this, and the videos that will be coming this year. There'll be all the usual flying stuff, and I've got some really interesting projects planned, so stay tuned for that. But we're going to go out there and we're going to do our best to save the hobby. If you want to, as I say, if you want to come along for the ride, subscribe, click the bell thing or whatever, I don't know, like the video, do all that sort of crap. And now I'm going to go on and do some stuff which may not be totally legal, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Join me on the ride. See you later in 2024. Not used to saying it yet. Okay, bye.
Overregulation is like a tumor. It's killing our hobby. It must be terminated. Now!